The next horror story is from Groovy Goblin. It is about the GM who rage quits because of a level 0 spell. Another rage quit, another weird reason.
Was it last week that we had the one where the GM went bonkers over silvery barbs?
Oh yeah, but it
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder what spell this one's going to go bonkers over. Oh, this is a Pathfinder game, so it might be one we've never heard of.
All right, Groovy Goblin.
You ready? Groovy Goblin. All right. This
Take your
happened
seats.
over a decade ago, so this is not fresh.
Oh shit.
I don't know how this came back up. Maybe this person's in therapy and it came up in therapy and they remembered.
Flashback.
So I was the forever DM in my group, but one of my friends sometimes tried to DM. Every time he did, I tried being very supportive in hopes that he'd enjoy his experience and keep DMing. So this guy was looking to eject out of being the forever DM. This is you. Did you write this?
I did succeed at that.
So we started a new Pathfinder campaign set in a desert wasteland. Bear in mind that we've been playing D&D 3.5 and Pathfinder for years at that point. So we all have pretty good knowledge of what each class can do. And I play as a dwarf cleric. Our session starts as our party enters a town whose inhabitants are barricaded indoors because of frequent sandstorms. A band of orcs took over the village's main well in a nearby cave and turned off all the water distribution system, cutting the town's access to their water supply. The townsfolk can't travel much further because of the storms, but they'll die of dehydration unless someone enters the cave and deals with the orcs and gets the water pipes running again. That sounds like a job for a Pathfinder party.
Yeah.
So this person, this dwarf cleric, announces,
I cast Create Water.
Say it like a dwarf, though.
I cast Create Water.
That was perfect, dwarf.
Nice.
The DM looks at me like I insulted his mother and asked me how much water it creates.
Well, it says like a gallon.
I say, reading the manual.
But it's level 0 spell. I can cast it as many times as I want, no components or any other cost, so I'll just tell everyone to bring me their bowls, jars, jugs, whatever, and we'll just stock as much water as possible. He found the solution. John,
It's a temporary solution unless this dwarf is planning on living here forever and doing this every day, all day.
Yes.
This is his now full-time job, right? So the DM lets me do that. The townsfolk cheer, but there's still a sandstorm outside. We can't travel much further, so we stay in town until the storm subsides. We stayed in that town doing nothing for the entire game session. Any attempt to do anything outside would have us take damage and penalties. At the end of the session, we told the DM that we just didn't really understand what he wanted us to do since he just wouldn't provide us with any opportunity to do anything.
What was the session looking like? So
It sounds like they were supposed to go fight these orcs, but instead they created water so they didn't have to fight the orcs. So now they have two choices: leave town or stay.
They are like, how did the session look like? I mean, what did they actually do?
Sounds like they did nothing.
Sitting with blank faces, one across the other, and staring at each other. What were they doing? Just talking to town folks?
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like they just made it really boring. They created a workaround, which was pretty smart, but also still temporary. Unless the dwarf is staying there, they're going to have the same problem tomorrow. So if you leave town, they die tomorrow, or they die in 2 weeks from tomorrow of dehydration instead of 2 weeks from today. Right?
Water has this pesky flaw. It is limited.
It doesn't sound like they had any plan. It's like, okay, we fixed your problem today. We're out of here. You're on your own. But the DM just wouldn't provide them with any opportunity to do anything. But I don't agree. They could have left the town. It said that they would have had damage and penalties. So what?
So what? If they choose not to help town folks, I guess that this can end the session if the DM doesn't have anything to do else. But they are in their right to do so.
Yeah, so move on and go wherever's next.
Yeah, skip the side quest.
It may have been part of the main quest, but it doesn't have to shut down the whole game, right? So when they said they didn't understand what they were supposed to do, the DM replied,
"Well, I had a really cool dungeon adventure in mind, which groovy goblin ruined by casting Create Water."
So I told him there were a lot of ways to get us into the cave if that was absolutely what he had wanted to do. The orcs could have kidnapped someone from the town, or they could have started an ominous ritual in the cave, or the DM could have just outright told us, hey guys, this is throwing a wrench in my plans. Please just go to the cave. And we'd have been fine with it. Okay, I don't say that. I'm not saying that word.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you say it. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey guys, this is throwing a wrench in my plans. Please just go in the goddamn cave.
And we'd have been fine with it. Again, this is a player telling the DM how to DM. I just ruined your game, but I'm going to tell you how to fix it. That's dumb. If you find a workaround for my problem, then go do something else. Where are you going from here? It's a temporary workaround. If they would have left town, if it's my game, they would have left town, and when they got to the next town, they would have heard the rumor about how everybody died of dehydration in that town because they had no water. Yeah. They had water for one day, not a lifetime. Right?
They have some dishes to wash as well.
Maybe the DM could have just said, okay, we really appreciate all this water. This is fantastic, and we've all been so thirsty, but what are we going to do tomorrow when you leave?
Well, DM did have a lot of opportunities to walk around about that. He also is right. The OP is also right. Just shutting down the session because they found a solution, he still could. Or he could wrap up the session saying that I really don't know what to do next, so instead of us staring at each other, let's just wrap up and I will figure out what to do next.
I think that's a little sour grapes too. I don't like that the player is telling the DM how he should have run his session.
But we're talking about the forever DM, so they have some...
True, so he's the forever DM and he's telling the not so forever DM, you're doing it wrong, right? Yeah. I'm going to ruin your game, but then I'm going to tell you how you should have done it better.
And also, if they choose not to help them, he can still have this dungeon adventure, I guess, but with a different cause.
Yeah, I mean, he can use all the same materials and have it be for a different reason and replace the orcs with hobgoblins or whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I think everybody's handling this wrong, and I think that this might happen a lot when you have like a forever DM playing in a game with a novice DM running it. Let me show you how good I am at playing this game, right? He's certainly not encouraging this guy to take over like he said he was. When I'm in a game with another DM, I tend to play along to get along.
I don't try to DM, because you are not that DM. You are a player now, and his style of DMing will differ from yours, and you can't have him meet your standards and your ways of handling situations.
So getting back to this, the DM got mad and told me to just run the game myself if I was that great of a DM, and he ended the campaign right then and there. In this guy's defense, we were mostly older teenagers. We started playing when we were 10, and we were around 18 when this happens. So they're all pretty immature, probably, at this point.
They had 8 years experience of D&D by that point, and they didn't know how to handle this situation like that.
There's an edit here. As many of you pointed out, a beginner DM can easily feel like their campaign is derailed when something unexpected happens, and I should have been more attentive to that possibility. I agree, you should have. I really wasn't trying to screw my friend over. You didn't. You came up with a clever solution, temporary solution to the problem, but it shouldn't have ended anything.
And you don't have to take responsibility in this regards. How you solve a puzzle or a situation or a quest, it is completely up to you.
So I really wasn't trying to screw my friend over. I really just heard,
"We need water,"
and realized that I had the ability to make infinite water. Not really. unless you're staying there forever, and did a 1 + 1 = 2 thing without realizing it could potentially screw over the whole campaign. It's not the whole campaign. This was a side quest at best. From my more experienced DM point of view, this wasn't something that could potentially ruin an adventure. And I failed to see how much damage it would cause. I think we both had bad communication. I should have told my friend, hey, did I just screw over the campaign? Can I help you rectify it by coming up with ways we could be tempted to go into the cave anyway? On the other hand, he should have been upfront with us when I derailed his adventure instead of keeping us locked inside for an entire session, then blaming me for it. Again, we were both teenagers, so I'm pretty sure we would handle it different today. I just don't understand why none of these people thought about the fact that this only solves the problem for today.
None of commenters as well, because in edit there is no...
The very first commenter said it, though. Cold Fire Dusty says, would the town not run out of water after the party left? Create water is a great short-term solution, but he still could have run the dungeon to fix the long-term problem, unless your character was A-okay sticking around the town for the rest of forever as a glorified water fountain. Exactly.
And Sigma Bunny replies, this Pathfinder rules say the water disappears after a day if not consumed. So at the most you border the town another day, or you are stuck there casting every day. So why didn't he mention it at all?
Because he doesn't. This seems silly, and it seems like a petty reason to end a campaign. The player didn't do anything wrong by casting Create Water. That was a great solution. The DM lost control of this game. They didn't have any plan B for what to do if they came up with such a solution. It's very simple. One of the NPCs walks up and says, this is brilliant, amazing, but what do we do tomorrow? And then they're right back in the cave fighting the orcs. We gave you water for today while we go solve your problem for you.
Yeah. Here, take your water, drink it now, while we are handling the orcs. Or leaving your petty asses to starve.
Yeah, by the way, I can't believe that they had a lot of food around either. Kind of hard to grow plants and vegetables in a sandstorm.
Yeah.
Or go hunting.
Yeah, this sandstorm's freaking me out.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. I mean, you've been in a game where you've walked through a blizzard or a sandstorm and you've taken 4 levels of exhaustion and thought your character was going to die. That's D&D. Play it.
All right, then.
Everybody's wrong. This campaign shouldn't have blown up because of this minor inconvenience.
For such experienced players, though, like 8 years they've been playing 3.5 and Pathfinder, which is both of them pretty hardcore, and they couldn't find the solution for this meta.
Now, it's too bad. I hate to see games like this break up, especially among friends who've obviously played together for a long time. You should be able to work this out.